When Baba began to campaign, I sought an audience with him and I tried to explain to him something he needed to focus his campaign. But I believe that he had some people like Mutua who thought they knew better. I told him to conduct his campaign not by going to every member state individually, but canvass regional votes. You hear now SADC has just come the last hour to say they are supporting Richardson. So truth be said that if the numbers are what is being said, that SADC is going to go behind Richardson, and then the Anglophone is mostly going to vote for Mahmoud, and then the other factor which is also important is Islam going to go for Mahmoud. Raila begins the first round at a disadvantage because the least he can capture if all goes well is 11, and the most he can get is 16 if those figures go the way they are. If that happens, Baba will have a knockout on this one. Kenya is waiting with bated breath on the outcome of the AUC election, which is just about to happen tomorrow. I want to say the following, that all Kenyans ought to wish Baba well to win this election, because it is going to be only after another 20 years that East Africa can have a chance to put someone at that seat. This should be the Kenyan moment. This moment should be Raila Odinga moment. Of course, I want to say that all the three people are highly qualified, highly experienced, and they deserve to have that seat. But of course, being a Kenyan, I will put my fate before Kenya, because it's easy to call Baba and tell him something happened in Kenya. You don't have to explain a lot to Baba because he knows. He's going to be in charge of a lot of big budget that's going to run across Africa. You can tell him about the road. He doesn't have to explain in details. But if you take Muhammad or you take Richard, you have to explain a lot of things about Kenya they don't get. But truth be said, there are some things which are also very fundamental in this election. One, I want to say that when Baba began to campaign, I sought an audience with him and I tried to explain to him something he needed to focus his campaign. But I believe that he had some people like Mutua who thought they knew better. I told Raila Odinga the following. One is that this is a regional voting. It is not more of member states voting. So I told him to conduct his campaign not by going to every member state individually, but canvass regional votes. You hear now SADC has just come the last hour to say they are supporting Richardson. Raila was banking on East African community, which also is sliced a little bit by SADC. I told Raila Odinga it's also about the Anglophone and the Francophone. And instead of going to who controls the Anglophone and Francophone blocks, he went to member states in Anglophone and Francophone. It was also supposed to be a Muslim bloc. You know, there are some people who control the Muslim, the Shiite, isn't it? There's a way the Muslim is organized as an organization, you like it, or as a civilization. So you're supposed to go, who is the leader of Muslims in the world? Whom do you go to? For example, if you want the Catholic to go beyond, you have to see the Pope. Then from the Pope, you have to see the Cardinal. There's a structure to enter the Catholic Church. You cannot enter the Catholic Church through a catechist, because the catechist has no say onto what can be a global thing like this one. So truth be said that if the numbers are what is being said, that SADC is going to go behind Richardson, and then the Anglophone is mostly going to vote for Mahmoud, and then the other factor which is also important is Islam going to go for Mahmoud. Raila begins the first round at a disadvantage because the least he can capture if all goes well is 11, and the most he can get is 16 if those figures go the way they are. And should that happen, unfortunately, Raila will begin the first round when he's having 16. The other guys will be 20 and above, meaning that he'll come out third. Given that there are three candidates, as rounds of votes will now go after a second round, you'll realize that they will eliminate the last candidate to allow the other two candidates to compete. And what will happen is that now Kenyan will be forced to vote for either Muhammad or Richardson. And that will be a serious disadvantage. And these things used to happen to us in campus. When I was in campus, you can discover that you have talked to all people, you have gone to the Kikuyu, you've gone to the Kalenjin groups, you've gone to the Coastarians, the Luos, of course, are yours because you're a Luo. All those things also happen in campus. Then you discover the night before the election that the Kikuyus have got an alliance with the Kalenjins and you have no answer to respond. So now that SADC, if it is true that SADC has issued a statement they are going to go behind Richardson, SADC cannot meet between now and the voting tomorrow. So that's like a gone story. So the strategic mistake Raila did in his campaign could have been not to approach the blocks, but he was approaching them as member states. Of course, the member states can work as a strategy, but also the last minute call by these regional blocks also have an impact on the final vote. So what I can say is that as we wish Baba very well, let us also be very level-headed on this matter, because it can actually be very, very painful if at all Baba doesn't win this election. I know many people have traveled to Addis Ababa to witness this vote. I've seen that the victory has been won, but Baba is also carrying the burden that at the moment I'm seeing so many organizations, global organization issue some very worrying statement. Like you see, I've just seen today, Transparency International has awarded Kenya one of the most uncoveted title, that Kenya is the most corrupt country in the world. Why today, if tomorrow AUC is voting? Do you think that AUC member states want to give an AUC seat to someone from the most corrupt country? And those people who are dancing in Addis Ababa, please, you better stay quiet, because I sent a message that we are going to overspend the AUC money to recover the cost of having all these campaigns and all those things. That's what I'm trying to say. For now, let's put Baba in prayer. The only person to turn around these things now is God. And those people lobbying in AUC, please keep lobbying as a block. Don't continue doing individual member states campaigns, because that's our weakest link. But nevertheless, Baba has done great in all campaigns. He's been more visible than anybody else. He's been visiting everybody. He's done photo session with everybody that matter, but not the regional blocks. Thank you.